What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today's plan on the truck here is we got to figure out the body lift. Now it's got a 3-inch body lift right now. I did remount the motor and transmission to give us a little more clearance so we can drop some of the body lift out. We're gonna have to keep some. I'm thinking we could probably take 1 inch out. So engine and transmission are bolted in, and you can see we did this smaller distributor back here and we got plenty of space back here. But the problem I'm seeing is from the cab down here to the transmission, there's not a whole lot of room back there. So I'm thinking it's got a 3-inch body lift right now. What I'm gonna do is unbolt all the body mounts and probably have to pull off some brake lines, but we got to lift this cab up because for some reason there's some C-channel welded on top of the frame back here. So I want to lift the cab up. We're going to cut that off, and then we're basically just going to set this cab down until we until we run into some clearance issues, and then we'll kind of make our body lift to fit around that. We've done everything else to clearance for dropping this body down, but it's kind of hard to clearance without dropping the engine and transmission way down, which we can't because oil pan is really close to that differential. We already did drop that diff about 3/8 of an inch, and then we dropped the motor down to get really close to that, but that's about as much clearance as we're gonna get. So let's unbolt all these body mounts, lift this cab up, cut that C-channel off, and then we'll figure out how low we can set this body. Well, we got everything cut off the frame. We got all of our new polyurethane mounts on the frame here for the body mount. So now we're just gonna drop this cab down until I assume this is probably gonna be the first thing to hit is a transmission right to the bottom of this right here, which we could clearance this a little bit with the old sledgehammer, but I'm gonna see how close we can get it before we start smashing stuff in. Well, this is gonna work out better than I thought. I'm sitting right now at 1.5 inches, and we got plenty of clearance. So you can see, obviously the distributor has got, we got 2 inches of clearance back there, but then down at the actual transmission to the cab, we're looking really good. So I'm gonna go 1.5 inches. So we gotta chop these down to 1.5 inches, and then we'll throw them back in. Like I said, we got all of our new mounts. We gotta get some bolts, and we'll bolt that all on. But one thing I wanna do before we completely bolt this body back down is I wanna fix all of this exhaust. When they built this exhaust, they didn't put any flanges in it. So I don't even honestly think you could pull this exhaust out without pulling the engine and tranny. So I'm gonna put a couple of V-bands in it, redo all the mounts, and then there was a joint on top on this side that is completely wide open on top. They weren't able to weld it. So once we get the body mounts in and cut and everything, we'll lift the cab back up and fix all this exhaust. It's gonna be so much easier with the cab being in the air. And then, we also gotta tackle the box too. We gotta pull all the mounts off of that and then chop down those blocks, drop this thing down 1.5 inches. You can see that body line to that body line is 1.5 inches, and I got blocks on every mount right now. I know we're at 1.5 inches, so we should be good to go to drop this thing down. Well, there we go. We got everything cut down to 1.5 inches, and it is looking so much better. I really don't like, especially with a 3-inch body lift, how far that frame hung down. It looks so much better now. So tomorrow we should have all of our exhaust parts, all of our hangers and V-bands and everything. So once we get that in, let's fix up this exhaust. Well, there we have it, folks. We got exhaust all done up. V-band here, V-band on this side, right there. So that should make it to where we can pull the header off, pull this piece out, and then we can pull the rest of the exhaust out from the back. Now, like I said, I don't think you'd be able to get this exhaust out with the engine and transmission in because it's tucked so tight up in here. This flange to get through here is not gonna happen. So now we can, if we ever need to pull this exhaust out, we can. And we also redid the hangers here and the hangers up underneath the bed. So it was so much easier with this cab being off. I couldn't imagine trying to weld the tops of these with the cab on. So either way, not that we needed to do that right now, but it was much easier right now. So I'm glad we got that done. Well, we're making some good progress on the truck so far. Definitely don't miss next video. We're gonna start suspension. It's gonna be very exciting. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna leave the cab off right now because it's so much easier to work on everything right now. So cab's probably gonna stay up in the air. Next video, suspension. So definitely stay tuned for that. Well, I'm gonna wrap this one up here, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I want you to go smash that thumbs up button, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.